important people, trust you guys are doing great. Welcome to my channel. We are back like we never did to donate. Okay, hit the notification bell, subscribe, like, share, comment, so when it is cooking it's right back to your doorstep. Don't leave it there. Always tune in and stay tuned. This is Anita video. She's trying to tell you guys how the day has been for her. Be sure you watch the video to the end because she said she had a lot in stock for you. She said a lot of intriguing messages, a lot of things that happened. Like when you watched it, you were like, "Aww." Or you can see she said, "I have so much to tell you." So guys, don't fall. So watch it to the end because it's a lot. Okay.
Phew. Okay, how are you? First of all, it's been a minute, eh? Well, let me tell you what I have been through. So if you're in Lagos, or even if you're not in Lagos, I'm sure you would have heard about the traffic that happened on Tuesday. Hey, that traffic was sent from hell. That traffic. So that was the day that I traveled, right? I left home like 11-ish for my flight. But before then, I had an errand to run. And it was just on like 2 streets away from the house, right? And this is somewhere that would take me about 8 minutes to get to. Let me just tell you, I couldn't even get there like, how do I say it now? Let's say half of the trip. So somewhere that would have taken me 3 minutes to get to, I was stuck on the road for over an hour. I had to start making calls like, I need to get to the airport. Who can come and carry this car that I'm driving so that I can take my things to the airport? There was nobody home. So what I did was I just had to get to the junction, make a turn, and then go back home. But for me to even do that, I had to be on the road for over an hour. No problem. I was already panicking at this time, but the good thing is that I had packed my things, I had ironed my 2-piece, I had cleaned my shoe, everything was set, right? What did I? The only thing I forgot was what? I think my sponge, right? That was because I'd left the water to drain, right? So anyways, I got home, just packed everything very quickly. I already ordered the cab before I got to the house. Asked the guys to just chill for me, carried my things downstairs, changed, and then I told him there's traffic over. I don't know if you've seen, but like I need to get to the airport before so time. I said okay, no problem. I've not even gotten half of my story and it's already been 2 minutes. Anyways, so we get on the road, right? We're just still around Civic Center. So we're still around Civic Center and the road wasn't moving at all. It was blocked, right? But for us to even get to Civic Center, it took us over an hour to get there. And at some point in the car, because the glasses were done, I was like, sir, please, I'm hot. Because I'd taken off my jacket. In fact, I'd taken off my wig in the car. Like, is your AC not working? He said it's working. So he turned it on while we're in traffic. So by the time we had gotten to Civic Center, he said, I thought that I thought this man said was because of the traffic, right? He said the again. I had to look. I was like, is everything okay? He said no fuel. I was like, as per no fuel in Lagos, like, are we saying what is happening in the country currently? Like, or what? He said no fuel for the car. What? Wait. First of all, I'm trying to get out of this traffic and you're telling me that there's no fuel in the car to even get me out of the traffic. I was like, okay, but where can he get us to? He mentioned a fuel station like that. But of course, we have to get out of there. Like, I don't even know where this place you're talking about is. Hey, God, at this point, I think I just had about maybe like 2 hours to get to the airport. I started looking for, earlier that morning, thankfully, I was trying to check in online and it wasn't even working. I called the agent, they said he couldn't do it because it's personal, whatever. But yeah, it was eventually able to check in online. So I even wanted to get on a bike. But okay, wait, before then, when we were at Civic Center, right, approaching Civic Center, I just remember that there's a boat club there. I was like, okay, you know what, let me start making calls to see if a jetty, it could take me, if I could get a boat so it could take me to the airport. But there was no waterway connecting. It would have just taken me somewhere, I think around the Butemeta. I don't remember where I saw. And then I'll have to like take on. I'm going to try to summarize and speak faster because I didn't think my story is plenty like this. But anyways, I would have had to take a vehicle, and that would have taken me like an hour 23 minutes already. So boat was cancelled. I was like, okay, bike. I was like, hey Jesus, so I'm scared of bikes, please. I've not had good experiences with bikes. But then I couldn't even get bikes. Where would I even have found bikes? The only bikes that were passing us were dispatch bikes. Where would I have sat on the bike? Where would my bags have stayed? I was like, oh God. And then it started raining. Hey, see that day, God. In fact, I made a covenant with God in that car. See, you guys, like, in fact, as I made it, I was like, God, you know what? I'm doubling it. Just let me not miss this flight, because the way. Anyways, we eventually made it out, thankfully, right? And then when we were like 30 minutes out, we then were able to get through. By then we had gotten to Ikeja. And for some reason, when we were then close to the airport, like where those barricades are, this guy, he wasn't, because it's like God just blessed me with this driver. The places he was passing through in that Ikoyi, like from here to here, like cutting corners to just pass through. But then when we got to the airport barricade, it was like he just looked, I'm like, sir, we still have a time to catch up with you. And maybe it's because I told him, I was like, no, you've really tried for me. Or when he was checking the trip, I was like, you really tried for me. Like, I'm not going to pay you what's on the app. I'm going to pay you more than that, because what you've driven today. I think that made him calm down. I was like, excuse me, we still have somewhere to get to. Anyways, I got to the airport. Oh God, if anybody has seen me at the airport that day, I was like a mad woman. I got to the airport at the customs. Is it customs or immediate? I don't know, but those people downstairs. One lady there was like, Anita. I was like, good afternoon, ma. Anita, good afternoon, ma. I was just waiting for my bag. The guy in front of me was talking with the officer, like, please, can you guys just settle yourselves? I was like, I just need to take my bags. I took my bags. They're like, what's flight? I said, Qatar. Anyways, I said Qatar. Everybody shouted, Qatar. I said, hey, you don't miss out more. I said, God forbid. I carried my bag. You see the way I ran into the lift? I ran out of the lift. As I was going, there were other passengers that were there. They were like, are you in Qatar? They did not let us, so they will not let you. I said, no, I checked in on. They were like, yeah, even though, like, I beg, your case and my case is not the same. I just ran past them, I ran to the counter. I was like, excuse me, ma, I checked in online. Like, I'm sorry. I said, I checked in online. You checked in online? I said, yes. Like, oh, okay. But you can't go in with your bags. You have luggages. Of course I have luggages. I had 2 bags. I said, just the only way that they can't help me on because of my bags. Like, you know what? Is this bag right? I will leave the bags. Then I'll leave the bags, like, I'll send the bags home. But I'd come to the airport myself with a cab, so nobody drops me off. I had to find somebody there, an official. I took their contact. I've been messaging this person since they answered me, but they've not answered me again. I need to go and check that message for them to send my bags home. But then again, the counter had closed, right? They supposedly were checking in, right, already into the plane. At this point, I had like maybe just 15 minutes to get to the gates. And I had to pass security. Anyways, so I just quickly opened the bag. I didn't even know what to pick. My head was just everywhere. I just opened it, and I took 2 trousers right from my bag. I didn't have any top, and luckily this nightwear was in my handbag, and I had them underwear and my mini toiletries in my handbag. My big Uzo leather tote bag, thankfully, but nothing else. And then my sister's jean, I just took that for her. The semo she asked me to bring, she wouldn't let me hear because of it. I couldn't bring because I said I can't go into the plane with powder. I said, okay, no problem. I ran to the gates. So remember, the counter was closed, so they couldn't print a boarding pass for me. I got to that security place where you have to scan your boarding pass to pass. I told the lady I checked in online, but then there was no barcode on my phone. She was like, madam. So she was like, madam, you need a barcode. How are we supposed to let you? I was like, I don't know, but they said I can pass through here because I've checked in on my phone. She was like, yeah, show me. And I said, ma'am, I've showed you. This is it. It's not showing. I don't know why the airline isn't showing the barcode on the phone. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. I ran. See, this is my wig. The way I dragged it. God. I ran back to the counter. It's like, excuse me, ma, they said I can't go to the boarding pass. The man there was like, so what do we do? Like, sir, I don't know, please, but just help me. Like, help me out. Hey, God. Anyways, the lady there, she was on the phone. So I was like, should I just go to the other woman? She's like, go. I went to her, asked her to help me with the boarding pass. And so she printed the boarding pass for me. I then ran back to that woman. On guessing that they were this group of travelers, right? Hey, God. And then the other one, somebody then said, Anita, go to the other side. You know how there are 2 I don't know if you know what I'm talking about at the airport. I carried my bags, like I ran from here to this part. This I was running at the airport. I got to that part. I was trying to just go in there. The man had kind of saying, "Hi, good afternoon. Sir, this is not time for this. Please, wait, scan this thing. Let me go." He scanned it. I passed through, got to the other immigration part, I think, or was that customs? Where are you going to? What are you going for? He said I was talking. Okay. Anyways, I passed through the airports. So the part where you put your luggages to scan through, the people they were gisting. Like, excuse me, sir, can I have my shoe? And it's my shoe I was waiting for because my bag had passed. Can I have my shoe? Like, oh, it's coming. They then press the button and then it did very slow. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I took the shoe. I didn't even wait for the other people there. I ran. I just ran and got through to the gate. Do you know I got to the gate? Like where all passengers were waiting. I just ran to the front. Like I was like, oh, I'm on Qatar flight. Like, oh, okay, yeah, please just sit and wait. I was like, no, like the flight that is boarding now. He said, no, we're not ready. You're what? Anyways, they said we're not ready. I'm like, you're what? He said, yeah, we're not ready now. The airline just started like, excuse you? So I had to ask the guy. I was like, if you guys are not ready, because we stayed there for like another 30 minutes. So why did you not? Why could I not get in with my bag? He said, oh, because the officials would have seen the counter is supposed to close at so time. They would see something on the system. I was like, what about the other people? Like, why couldn't they go? So like, oh, because they didn't check in online on time and because all this things on the system. I was like, but the airline has delayed, right? At least take some accountability and do something for your passengers. Anyways, I sat down, brought out my comb, brushed my wig first of all, took off my jacket to let some breeze in. Then what did I even do? I tried to watch a movie, but I couldn't. Then I remembered, oh, I didn't have time to even change my money, right? So I was like, oh, can I go back up to the bureau to change? He said, oh, no, it's at that entrance place that I have to pass custom. I was like, I beg you guys. So I just went back, sat down and got on the plane, right? Eventually made it. The cab driver here, God will punish that man wherever he is. He will purge for 2 weeks. 1 week. Let him purge for 10 days. That man, in fact, like, I was so uncomfortable in that cab to the extent I had to start even making videos just in case. And then he was saying silly things. At one point, there was this slow traffic, not even serious traffic, not like our type of traffic. I was like, oh, because there's traffic. And he had already asked me if I would tip him. If I said, yeah, I would tip him. I said, because there's traffic and it's stressful driving in traffic, I would tip him extra, right? I'm like, I should tip you extra on top of the tip I was going to give you because you're driving in traffic. Excuse me, sir, go home if you don't want to work. Like, this is not even traffic, like it's moving. And then I think this man circled because I didn't get a SIM card. He circled round the airport, right? He circled round, so the meter ran way more than it should have. Because when I got here, I asked my son how much she paid for her cab and how long it took her to get here. When she told me, I was like, that man, that's my money that you took like that. It will just go like this. You will never know what it is you've used that money to do, and you will purge wherever you are. That man. Anywho, that's it. Today has been good, right? I am jet lagged. I barely slept last night. I'm already feeling sleepy now. But I still have stuff that I need to do. So I think I'm going to sleep, wake up, do it, and then go back to sleep. But it's quite risky because if I sleep now and wake up, what's the assurance that I'm going to go back to sleep again? Anyways, if you've stayed here to this point, that is what has happened to me in the past 48, 50-ish hours. C'est bon. What video? Me. My sister Wim Snap, but it's not me. How can you say me? I'm not on Snap.